Hello, y'all. Welcome to Jackalope Tales, BC.
Yeah!
Hey, we're putting the satchel away for the moment because I don't keep these in the satchel. But it was something I wanted to share with y'all. Lisa did too. Talking about, gosh, like a really legit first release.
Right.
Not that cassette anymore.
This is a CD, and we're talking about Pleather.
Yeah.
So there were actually two covers that were used on this. So one was released by Grass Records, and the second one, Interscope, decided they wanted to release it, and they did a limited release, and they called it Toadies Demos.
And they did that after Rubberneck came out because they were kind of like, oh, let's jump on this bandwagon and put out more stuff.
Right. And they're like, you guys actually did a good job on this. Let's release it.
Yep. So we've got the first issued, and I'll have it in the picture there. And from what I remember, that cover especially was that came from a children's encyclopedia.
Right. And we were very conflicted on how to make an album cover. We were having a lot of trouble, a lot of trouble.
Oh, yeah.
Grass Records. In fact, I think it was holding everything up. Grass Records was waiting on us to figure out a darn cover. So
they should have known better than to expect us to come up with something quickly.
My favorite review of this album cover is someone said it looks like a Uriah Heep album cover. Have you heard that?
Oh, no.
Yeah, someone compared it to Uriah Heep.
Sweet.
I know, right?
Oh, man.
It's a freaking compliment.
That's a 5-star. That's not going to be in the Lone Star Salute.
So the back of this, we have to show the back of this.
Yeah, I will.
It is an extremely blown out picture of pubic hair.
Yeah.
And not very many people know that.
And yeah, they even put it on the
the funny thing is that stayed, the pubic hair stayed.
I know, they actually messed with the front but not the back.
They messed with the front bottom but not the back bottom.
They're like, oh, that must be the moon, the craters in the moon. But no.
Yeah, it was. Oh God. Yeah. To me, that's so funny. So, the cool thing about this is, Daryl was playing guitar.
Yep.
And you were playing guitar on this. Todd didn't play guitar. He just did vocals.
Yes, that's right. Because he went that little spell where he didn't want to be playing. So he just wanted to sing.
Right. And then we thank Camille Sciarra, she was basically Grass Records. She was the one who made Grass Records happen. And she was the sweetest person ever. In fact, all the people at Grass Records were amazing. Yeah. Shannon, shout out Shannon. What?
Yeah.
But they're just good folks, and little did they prepare us for major label stuff because we were used to the friendships and happy things and
the easy-go-lucky stuff.
Right. And then our buddy David Gibson did the inside art, put it together. And David Gibson was in a really freaking great band that we love from Fort Worth called Slowpoke.
Yep.
And in fact, you watch old Toadies videos and you'll see we're wearing Slowpoke videos.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Slowpoke
shirts.
A lot.
We played together a whole bunch. But yeah, crystal clear studio again. We just couldn't get away from that place.
Right. We did a lot of work there. And I think it's funny that I think this is the second one that we say the CD was not produced.
Yeah.
I think the tape was not produced. The CD was not produced. And Keith Rust is at the board again, engineering.
Yeah. And let's see. It does say, though, that Tracy was guitar on Possum and Got a Heart. Let's see.
Was she?
Yeah, it says that on here. I really thought Daryl did it all with me, but...
No, not on the original.
Oh, whoa, there it is. Yeah, Guitar on Possum and
Oh,
Art.
okay. So Tracy Sourwine, who was a guitar player for a little blip of time with the
Yeah.
Toadies, she played on 2 of the songs. I forgot
we
that.
must have gone in the studio and recorded those a little bit before. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
And and this is when Daryl started doing some writing because he helped write Happy Face.
Oh yeah, I forgot that he helped write that one.
Yeah. So that was the first song where there was someone else that had a good hand in it. Because
Yeah.
I think he had the riff. And it was definitely something
That was a really
different.
great riff.
Oh,
Happy Face. I
yeah.
love that riff.
Yeah. That was a cool song to play.
And Ruth, I really love that song too. I always like playing Ruth. And Ruth stands for Run Unto Heaven.
Yeah.
And you'll see that Todd says run unto heaven.
Oh yeah.
And so Ruth is, yeah.
That's that chant he does there at the latter part of the song. And gosh, I mean, Mr. Love. That was the one that came out as a single from this CD.
Yes.
Because it had that cover as the single. And the B-side was a heavy I Burn on the single. So
I'm looking at both of these and it's so funny. The only thing Interscope really changed was the front cover.
mm-hmm.
They kept everything else the same. They left David Gibson's artwork in the fold out.
Yeah.
They left the back pubic hair. And they just changed the.
Did they put more pubic hair on the front? I don't know what
they should have.
Yeah.
And it's so bland and gross and not us. This Minotaur thing is more us.
That was it was kind of along the lines of the designs that we had done before from Dan Leitner's paintings.
And it's really funny how this was cut out. It was copied at Kinko's and cut out and then put on this volcano base.
That's high tech right there. But hey, it was, what was this? 1991? What's the year on that? 92.
No. Because Grass came before. This is kind of like which came first, Creed or Guns N' Roses?
I know it's kind of hard to
Creed.
see it, but yeah, I think it says 92 down there on the bottom.
Then the
left. I don't know.
I can't read it.
I know it's covered by pubes.
But the coolest thing, I know, right?
Yeah.
Grass Records, man. Let's talk a little bit about Grass Records.
Oh,
Brainiac, Mousetrap.
God, all the bands that were on there. That was such a cool label to be on.
Oh my God. Camille knew how to scout bands, and it's incredible the talent that was on Grass Records at that time.
Oh, it was amazing. Yeah.
And Grass Records was a label that was made specifically for us because it was an offshoot of Dutch East India.
Right.
And we didn't fit on anything they were doing, so they made this little tiny label for us, and then they started signing the coolest bands ever.
Oh, I was so proud to be on that label.
Same.
It was just it's almost like SST, Touch and Go.
Yeah.
Alternative Tentacles.
Creed
Grass
also,
record.
by the way.
Oh yeah. That's right.
Creed went to Grass, and that was way after us at the very end, after we had already gone to Interscope.
Oh yeah.
But
but the record company was no more. And man,
I miss them.
I know.
I miss
they were
Camille.
such cool people.
Yep.
But,
let's go back in time to there. That would have been if we could go back in time, that would be a really good time.
That
was
an exciting time, because when we found out that Grass Records wanted to put our CD out, because we'd been shopping that Velvet cassette so much.
Right.
Sending it everywhere.
And they understood what we wanted to do. They understood us.
Yeah, they kept the cool cover.
Which, to me, every time I see it, I remember just strife that we had trying to get something out. And we were finally like, fuck it, just put the Minotaur. And we just glued it on.
I know. And it's like the Minotaur is really mugging that guy's leg.
I know.
I mean,
And
it's like a new dog.
it's so fucked up. And every time I see it, it just takes me back to that when we were struggling with the cover of all things. We're struggling with the cover.
I know.
And I think this is the only one that pre-Interscope that we went without Dan.
Yeah.
Maybe that was the problem. Maybe we should have gone back to Dan Leitner.
I'm sure he had something we could have used.
Right. Maybe he could redo the Minotaur attacking the dude.
He could put his own little spin on it.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know what made us go with that, but I think you're right. It was just like hell with it. But that tells me that's just how cool it was.
I know.
So many memories.
It was good times.
Yeah.
Very good times.
Yeah. Really good.
Here's where we have the memory little thing where we look at.
Oh, yeah.
And we're holding hands and skipping.
I can make that happen with
it.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a really cool time for Toadies music. This is the second time we released a couple of those songs.
And I think you said this was the CD that really got noticed because of some guy that was in like distribution.
Yeah. So Mark's, I think it's a relative, like a cousin.
Yeah.
Worked in a distribution center, a music distribution center. And he had a cassette of this and Velvet.
Yeah.
And he handed it to an A&R guy at Interscope. And that is all it took. You have to know people.
Yeah. You got to get that foot in the door.
And at that distribution center, I think every time we went to Sacramento, we visited them because we owed them everything, man. We would hang out with them for the day and eat lunch.
Yeah.
They'd like bring in sandwiches and we'd eat sandwiches and get free records. And hang out.
We'll buy the sandwiches. We owe it to you for our mega record deal. But
so it was good.
Too cool.
So if anyone has any suggestions of other things for us to talk about that are old school or new school, let us know.
Yeah.
Drop us a little message.
Yeah.
And if you have any questions about Pleather or any of the other stuff we've talked about, ask us questions and we'll try our best to answer. And you can text us.
Oh, yeah. Just click on that thing on each podcast that says, send us a message.
Right.
I think it's something like that.
And while we're using the bathroom, we'll sit there and answer texts.
Yeah.
Because that's what we do.
And we've been talking about the 50th episode. We might need you to send some questions about Lisa being an Ewok.
Right. Little tease.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you have questions, please drop us a line and let us know.
Anything.
Yep.
Especially if it's about Ewoks.
Right. Yeah. Like Charles, I always say, boxers or briefs. And he never will answer.
No.
Ever.
I just go,
whatever.
What? Yeah.
He's like, commando. And I don't know what that means.
Banana hammock.
Oh.
All right, but thanks for watching the bonus content. We'll come out with these every Monday.
And every Wednesday, be sure and check out the Jackalope podcast. Jackalope Tales podcast every Wednesday. And you'll get to hear us poke fun at each other and make each other laugh.
We do that a lot, don't we?
A lot.
More poking than laughing. All right. Bye.
It sounded dirty.
I know it did.
Bye, y'all. Thanks.
Bye.